Hi everyone, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft, and today I wanted to have a chat with you. I've been wanting to have a conversation like this for a while actually, probably before Christmas, but never got round to it. And sort of as the title says, it's sort of the papercrafting industry really, like what has happened to it, what is happening to it. I mean, there's so many businesses closing down. We've lost like Creating Craft. I think Heartfelt Creations went. Creative Expressions apparently is gone. And it's just really worrying because I don't know what the future is in papercrafting, and I think times have changed so much. I mean, I can't speak for other countries because obviously I live in the UK and that's all I really know because I live here, but the cost of living here is ridiculous, and I think a lot of people just don't have the money now, and I think that a lot of it is a choice between, do I buy papercrafting supplies or do I buy food for the week? And as extreme as it sounds, I do hear it a lot, and I think that is partly the reason why. And I think also the likes of like AliExpress and Temu, I think so many people now shop there. Maybe it isn't a choice, maybe it's that they don't have a choice because they don't have enough money to, you know, buy sort of expensive brands, because some craft brands do cost a lot of money. I've seen a sort of big difference in the last few months, and I've kind of come back after a while away when I was having this cabin built and whatnot, and I'll be truthful, I've come back and I do feel quite disheartened. And I think, well, you know, I just hope sort of I haven't sort of built all this for nothing, because at the minute it is quite hard. And I think doing it as a hobby, you know, yeah, it's great because you buy what you want when you want, you choose what you make, and you're just doing it for yourself. But I think when you have a business and you're doing it as for a sole income or most of your income, it's scary because I've noticed a huge decline in what you can earn in this anymore. And I mean, YouTube, I mean, that's another story altogether. But what I'm finding, and I've heard other people talking about it as well, is I've noticed a big difference, because with YouTube, like long form videos, you know, like 20-25 minutes, whatever, where say you're doing a 3D project, people just aren't interested anymore because they haven't got the time, they haven't got the attention span now. They don't want to sit down and watch a 20-minute video. You know, sort of shorts is the way to go. I think that's why maybe it's like TikTok is so popular. I mean, I don't use TikTok, but I've noticed a huge difference, and that's scary as well, because I think the only way forward is content creators like me are going to have to maybe change how they do things. And personally for me, I love nothing more than sitting down and doing a tutorial for say 20-25 minutes. It's what I enjoy, it's what I started doing, and it's disheartening because they take, I've mentioned this before, they take time to do. You know, you've got to come up with an idea, you've got to try out the idea, you know, make a prototype or whatever, then there's the recording it, and you know, things always don't go right, you might have to do it a few times, and it's all that time, and then it goes out and you just think, well, people are just not interested in it. You know, you go on the statistics and YouTube, it tells you people are only watching for 5 minutes and they switch off because they're probably bored, you know, they're bored. And I mean, it might be when they want to make it, but that could be in 6 months' time when they have an occasion to make it for, they will then watch it all. But it's so disheartening because, like, lately I'm struggling with content because I don't really know what to put out there. It's just so hard, and it's like cards as well. The amount of people I saw over Christmas saying, oh, I'm not making them, I'm not sending them this year, I'm just going to donate to charity. You know, that's a big thing. People are not making cards anymore, you know, and you have all these companies like Moonpig and everything people are using them, or they're just not making cards at all. Because as well, you've got to think, you may sit for an hour, 2 hours and make a card and put, you know, your life and soul into it, and you've used all your supplies and all your time, and then the person gets it, you know, oh, thank you, bin it. And that hurts people's feelings who sit for an hour, 2 hours and make them. And it just isn't as popular as it is. And also the price of postage, it is ridiculous what it costs to send a card. And that's another big thing. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on it? Personally, I think the papercraft industry, I'm not saying is in trouble, but I do think it's not the best. And I think a lot of things are down to it, the factors. I think it's money is the main thing. People are just not buying. As I said, we're in a cost of living crisis, and you know, there's not many people can afford to go on and spend £30-40 on a die set. People just can't afford to do it. And you know, I'm not a one for pushing products. I don't like doing it. That is just me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But also with me doing this as a living, for a living, it's the only way I can earn money, because I don't think you could be a creator like this and have a full-time job as well. You couldn't do it. You could not do it. If you want to get content out and work as well, I've tried it and it doesn't work. You're just too tired when you come home, and things just won't work. You can't do it both. And I know people who've, you know, been with me for a long time, I know you've noticed I'm not as active as I was, and I'll not lie, I'm struggling because, as I said, I don't know really what content to put out there. I feel like people's attention spans are shorter, they're not watching, I'm losing subscribers, you know, I'm not getting as many as I used to, and I just don't know. And I've heard quite a few people say this too. It's just a really strange time at the moment. And if you ask me sort of where I thought we would be in 5 years, I really wouldn't like to say, because I know there's paper crafting companies in trouble as well, and things are just not the best at the moment. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on it. You know, how do you think it's going, or what would you like to see? Because I mean, you can't please everybody. You see, you'll get loads of people who will be like, oh well, I love your 3D projects, but then you get so many who just don't have the patience to watch them. Or it's quite upsetting as well when I've sort of took days to make something and I put it out there and try to explain it the best I can, and I'll get so many people saying, well, I can't make it, or it's too complicated for me. And then I think, well, but then what do I do? Because when I use dyes, people are like, well, can you make it without a dye? Yeah, I can, but then people are like, I can't make it, it's too complicated. So it's hard, it's really hard to sort of find a level ground of what to do. And I just don't know. I really don't know. I'm not sure which way to go. I think I may have to start getting into some shorts more and going along them lines, because the tutorials, I mean, I still will do them. I do love doing them, but if you haven't got an audience for them, there really is no point. And I've struggled to sort of make them into like 8 or 9, 10 minutes, because I find that you're having to speed too much up and then you're having to cut too much out, and then people won't watch because you're missing parts anyway. So yeah, that's quite tricky. But I don't know, where do you think we will be? Where do you think it's going? Things are definitely not what they were. I do think there's a lot of troubles in the paper crafting industry. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it and see what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments. But it is worrying. It's a worrying time, and just the last few months alone for me, I've just thought, oh, goodness, I really don't know what the future is in this now. If there is one, I don't know. It just isn't what it used to be, and whether or not it'll get better and we'll come out of it, I don't know. But and I've always said this from day one really, but I think the paper crafting industry is completely oversaturated. It really is. There's so much choice, there's so many people doing it, you know, so many YouTubers, so many companies. It's just, there's so much of it, and that doesn't help, but obviously there's nothing you can do about that, you know. It is what it is, but it's just, it's tricky. It really is tricky to just find a sort of even ground for it. But I mean, I'm not sure the way I'm going to go at the moment. I really don't know. I'll probably keep plodding on and making videos, but I just wish I could sort of get the consistency back and, you know, get back to what I used to be. But it's hard, it's tricky. I mean, I think the most successful time of my channel was a couple of years ago when I started doing the laminator videos. I mean, that got us trending on YouTube, and I was getting, honestly, some days over 1,000 subscribers in a day. It was crazy. And then I started doing like the compilation videos, like 20 ways, 10 ways to do this. And now everyone's doing them. So I think, well, you know, what do you do there? And then it's coming up with the ideas as well. They can take days to do. They took me days to do. And people love them. And I do enjoy them, but it's hard to keep coming up with ideas, and I don't want to keep repeating myself and doing the same things over and over again, because it's paper, it's carved, there's only so much you can do, and so many people do it that it's really hard. So yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, as far as I know, I'm not going anywhere yet. I'm just letting you know that this is how I feel, and I know other people feel the same. I'm not alone. I've heard people talking about it, you know, I've read things about it. So what are your thoughts about it? Yeah, leave it in the comments, but I will hopefully be back soon, and I'll see you all again. So take care, thanks for watching, and bye for now.